And welcome to another episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Live Feed is brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. Also brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, the 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying. So let them help you. All right, guys, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about mansplaining. Well, I am going to attempt to mansplain, and then mention a few things that have occurred to me, or have happened to me, I should say, through mansplaining. Now, I know I'm in the car, and if you follow me and you're a good follower like you should be, first, you're going to smash that heart, right? 2, you're going to tell your friends about us. And then 3, you're going to comment. Don't forget to do that. Whether you're watching this live or recorded, don't forget to do it. I don't like the car, episode in your car. But unfortunately, my wife injured herself, so she's been seeing several doctors. So between my work schedule of filmmaking and hello everybody that's joining us, my work schedule and filmmaking and my wife's doctor's appointments, I don't have time to do live feeds. So I got a couple of hours now while she's at the doctor's. So I'm going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to have to do a car episode in the car. So mansplaining, if you follow us, you know that we tried to do a mansplaining video and somehow we got kicked off, and the episode was just, I don't know, lost in the internet somewhere, wherever they go when they get dropped the way they do. So we got to do the mansplaining again. And it was really good because we had our great follower, Cleopatra, with a lot of information and giving the female's point of view. And, as you can see, this show is hosted by a male, and I try my best to talk to women and then give the female perspective on any particular topic that I'm talking about. But it's nothing like when you really hear it from the women themselves or from the person who's dealing with whatever they're dealing with themselves. That's always best to hear from them. So let's go on with mansplaining. And again, if you're following us, if you're not following us, hit that follow button. Be sure to hit that bell. Follow us on Nonfiction Filmmaker on YouTube. And be sure to comment, because comment rather than send me a DM when you have a question, because somebody else can give you some advice, or somebody else might say, I have that same problem, and add more to what you say. So mansplaining. So mansplaining, I don't have, I'm sorry guys, I'm really unprepared today. Last time I did the show, I had the definition. Now I don't. Oh, great, I still have it here. Awesome. So we're gonna let Siri explain what mansplaining is to you guys. And for some reason it's not working. Wait a minute. Let's start that over.
Pejorative term meaning to comment on or explain something to a woman in a condescending, overconfident, and often inaccurate or oversimplified manner. Author Rebecca Solnit described the phenomenon to a combination of overconfidence and cluelessness.
All right. Yeah, I know it sounds like my Siri is high on crack or something, but I slowed it down because you wouldn't be able to understand it as fast as it normally goes. So, all right. So now we know what mansplaining is, and what the problem is. And guys, I don't want you. This is not a bash on women. Okay, let's get that out in the open first. This is not a bash on women. Okay, but some women are now thinking, very few, out of a million women, there's probably one that's is trying to flip things around for their benefit, which everyone does. It's a human thing to do. So anytime that a man says anything, it's now mansplaining. Let me explain what occurred. I had a friend, and notice I said had a friend because I don't hang out with people like this, who all the time would tell me, and it was great. I love listening to her stories of sexual misconduct or words that were said to her in the workplace that were wrong, and how all the supervisors were men and all the supervisors would try to cover it up, and how hard she worked, and good for her to get to where she needed to be, to where now she's the supervisor and she could make the changes. If something is not right, she can make the change. If a woman or even a man is being harassed in a certain way, she now has the power to make those changes. But when she was put in that place, she didn't do it. There was a woman that was in her employ, and the person should have been fired for the things that they did. And this is my opinion. I feel that it was more a thing of women need to stick together, and even though you did wrong, I'm going to let you slide. But that's not the way it should be. Wrong is wrong. And, whether you're whatever color you are, green, orange, purple, and your purple people have been harassed and humiliated for centuries, and now you're in a power to change things, you should not change it to where your people, your purple people, are getting the advantage and everyone else is suffering, because that's just going to keep the chain, the process going. It's going to keep the same thing going on, where I have the power and I'm going to let my people get ahead and not let someone else people. It's time for equality for all. So if you have a bad apple in the purple people, it's time to get rid of that bad apple and do what is right for all of the business, or all of the band, if you're in a band, or all of the film crew, no matter what you're doing. That's when you do that, and some people can't see that and don't see that, unfortunately. So she had the position, the power to do that, and she just did what she wanted to. So when I explained to her what I just explained to you guys, so I'm not going to repeat it again, she said, I don't need you to mansplain to me. And that is not mansplaining. If I sexually harassed her, or if I told a joke that offended her, a joke about maybe women's parts, and it offended her, and I try to explain to her why she shouldn't be offended, that would be where she can say, I don't need you to mansplain to me. But it's getting to the point, I tell you right now, it's getting to the point where these types of women, and there's very few of them, I'm going to say it again, are basically making a joke. Like, how do you know when a man is mansplaining to you? His mouth is moving, and that is not true. There's, I will admit this, and I'll probably lose my man card by saying this, but I will admit that most men you come across don't treat women the way they should. Whether they don't realize that was never acceptable and you shouldn't do it, or they choose to say, you know what, you are the lower class, so I can treat you any way I want. And those people, if they're racist, those people too will treat men of color the same way, or it doesn't matter where they are. They can be black and they will treat a non-black man the same way. But it's time for us to drop that, because then the cycle is just going to continue to go, where now, and again, not to pick on women, but now women are are covering up for women that do wrong, and then there's going to be a time where men are going to be fed up with it, and then it's going to go back to the same cycle where women are being wronged and treated wrong, and it's just going to keep going back and forth like that. So there has to be a time when you say, no, we're going to stop here. And I think if you're a woman that's a CEO, awesome. I'll be honest, I work with a lot of women all the time. I don't know why. It always ends up that when I'm working on a project or whatever, it's mostly women are working either for me or with me, depending on the situation, and I don't mind it. You do get your occasional woman that thinks, well, you just got the job because you're a man and you don't deserve it, type of thing, and that's fine. You're always going to have that. I think you're always going to have that. You're going to have. I've been told also, you have this position because you're black, and affirmative action. That's the only reason why you have this position. Like I'm not qualified for it. So for her to say that, for a woman to say that I'm not qualified simply because I'm a man, I handle that the same way I handle a man telling me that I only got a job because I'm a person of color. And which is you ignore them and you keep on doing your best, and you offer them a chance to, if you want to work somewhere else, you're more than happy to, but it really has to stop. And it's, shame on the, like I said, 1%, whatever it is, 0.1%, I don't know, of the women who say, now I'm in power, now I'm going to hire only women. And that's a shame, but it doesn't happen too often, as often as some sexist men would think it does. I think that when women see someone that works good, they're willing to hire them. If you find that a lot of women don't want to hire you, it's probably because you said something sexist, or you came across, like that, and they probably don't want to work for you. But yeah, so this main thing here is that mansplaining is not in any way a man just opening up his mouth, okay? Because I know a lot of men that go to bat for women. I know that when I've been in positions of power, even when I wasn't in positions of power, even when I was just, whatever, just the low man on the totem pole, when I saw injustice, I would say, you don't have to treat that person that way, no matter what, whether it was, it doesn't matter, if you're working sometimes with a bunch of people of color, sometimes they pick on the white man, and it's a shame, because it always works out that when a person picks on a person, when let's put it this way, when a woman, being that this is a topic, I'm not picking on women, when a woman picks on a man simply because he's a man, they never pick on the guy who's also a sexist. So in other words, a woman who's a sexist will never will never clash with a man that's a sexist, because I think it's because they see that, they see that this person is this way, and they go, and then they take all that hostility and that anger and they put it against a man or a woman that would never choose not to hire someone because they're a certain sex. And it works out that way with racism too. If you have a black man or Hispanic man, because every nationality can be racist, and you have this, let's say, Latino man, because I'm Latino, who hates white people and would never hire white people, or is always picking and bullying on white people. They never pick and bully on the guy that runs Proud Boys, or that is the leader of the KKK. Never. Never, never, never. And I don't know why. And I think, again, if I had to take a guess, this is just an educated guess from 15 years of helping people with bullying, is because they see that strong personality. You know, a racist person that's willing to come out and say, I'm racist, has a strong personality. Whether you like the personality or not, or whether it's good or bad, they have a strong personality. And they see that strong personality. So another person with a strong personality that's not honest, veers away from that. Me, I love to go towards people with strong personalities, because two strong personalities make a stronger personality. And whatever you want to get done, whether it be write a book, make a film, or just cook eggs in a restaurant, it gets done better and it gets done quicker, and because you have two strong personalities. But a person who's truly weak, that comes off to have a strong personality, never will clash with a person with a strong personality, because they don't have that confidence. That's why they're projecting this fake strong personality. I hope that makes sense to everyone. But yeah, so I apologize again, even though it's beyond my control, that the first Mansplain video got disconnected, and we hope that doesn't happen too often, because again, it's always when we have great shows with people communicating and talking back and forth and giving their opinions. We have had a bunch of people giving their opinions on Mansplaining on that video, and now it's all lost. So I'm going to send this video to them and hope that they will write in the comments their opinion of mansplaining and what mansplaining means to them. But that's going to do it for me on this episode of Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. Again, I want to thank everyone, Cleopatra, Pico, and I apologize, I can't remember because they were new names. The other people that spoke up in the last time we did the Mansplaining, and hope you all come back and give your opinion on this one, and be sure to smash the heart and share this with someone that you feel may benefit from it. And again, don't forget, follow us, subscribe to us, I should say, on YouTube at Nonfiction Filmmaker, all right? Nonfiction Filmmaker, subscribe up there, help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. That's what we're trying to do. So, Live Feed is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com, a 501c3 nonprofit organization geared at helping survivors of bullying, so let them help you. And brought to you by Traveling Tech Teacher for all your digital resources. Check out travelingtechteacher.com. So that's going to do it for us. Remember, anyone can wear the crown. Anyone can be a hero. Be kind to one another, guys, and have a great day. Bye.